And we are live. Tonight is going to be a community game night. Tonight we're going to play a really nice free and open source program, a shooter called Xonotic. And we are... Alright, and we've got a few people already hanging out in the YouTube chat, and I've got a couple of people actually hanging out over on Discord ready to get into the game. And I didn't feel like watching the Super Bowl tonight, so I figured, you know what, I was going to play a game. I don't game that much, but I felt like I wanted to frag a few people. Seems like I always do one of these gaming streams every Super Bowl. This is like the third one in a row, I think. Maybe it's because my team doesn't quite make it. So you guys hanging out in the YouTube chat, let me know how my audio is. Everything sounds good. Give me a yay or a nay. Once we get into the game, I'll also need your guys' input to let me know how I need to adjust the game volume. Hey, Toke. I see you're in the Discord chat. Were you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was. I'm trying to set this up so it works better.
Okay. Well, I can hear you. It sounds a little low to me, though. So you might want to raise the volume a little bit, if you can. So once we get in the game and all the explosions and everything are happening, might be tough to hear you. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and get into the game. And whoever shows up and wants to join over on Discord in the voice chat, that's fine. I typically, when I do these, if folks show up, great. If not, I'll run solo for a little while. Somebody is trying to get there.
Can I just speak or do I have to play?
I've got you. Yeah, you can hang out. You do not have to play the game if you just want to hang out in the voice channel.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Alright. Well, let me find us a game, those of us that are wanting to play. And of course, you guys can join me in-game without having to be on Discord in the voice channel or anything. I think if I go to multiplayer and look for a server, there really is only one server that has any activity right now. It's a 32-player room, and there's only 2 people in it. You guys see Xonotic 0.8.2 server Stormkeep is the map they're on right now. It's 2 of 32 players. Not a very descriptive name, but Xonotic 0.8.2 server. And the map they're on is Stormkeep. They're doing deathmatch right now. If you guys can join that, let's see what kind of ping we get. Since there's already a couple of players in there. Alright, might take me a minute to remember how to play this game. I don't game that often. I can go months at a time, really, without playing a game. Alright, I fragged somebody, so I'm assuming that person is new. So, you guys on the YouTube chat, how is the game volume? Can you guys hear it? Too soft? Too loud? Because I can't tell because I'm not obviously listening to the stream. Oh, somebody hit me. So you guys, if you're not familiar with Xonotic, obviously the space bar will make you jump, and you can just hold it down and just constantly bunny hop, and you actually speed up the more you bunny hop. So it's a really crazy fast-paced shooter. And of course the trick is to get the good weapons. That shotgun that you start off with, it's an okay weapon, but it doesn't do very much damage. You have to hit somebody about 20 times with it to kill them. There's some other weapons that do a much better job. Like this one here, the grenade launcher thingy. If I can find somebody to shoot.
The graphics look really nice.
Yeah, for an open source game, this is not bad. Oh, by the way, somebody in the chat earlier was asking about, there's two different versions of Xonotic as far as how you launch it. You got with the GLX and the SDL. Both work in Linux, so but most people typically run the SDL version on Linux. All right. Well, somebody fragged me. There's somebody in this game that's already got 18 kills, so we're dealing with a professional here, guys. Yeah, the YouTube chat says the volume's alright. Okay. Alright, I need to go find a better weapon. Alright. Ooh, I fragged somebody. I don't know if that was just a lucky shot, or you're just that bad. Oh, I'm in the lava. This game, when you first join it, if you haven't played it in a while, it's just the speed. You really got to get used to it. You got to play a few minutes to get oriented here. Because this is not some slow-moving shooter like Call of Duty. Oh, I'm in the lava. I'm in the lava. I couldn't get out. Alright. I'm going to ask the YouTube chat one more time. The game volume in relation to the voice. Good? Or would you need more volume for the game? Tried to turn it down, so I know if I put it at 100%, you really can't hear anybody talking with all the explosions and everything. But we don't want it so soft you can't hear what's going on. That sounds perfect. Great. Alright. Ooh! Got you there, Toke. Ooh. Well, I'm typing instead of shooting.
3 frags left.
I don't know if you guys could see that. I'd accidentally hit the key on the keyboard to start typing, and then I was stuck.
2 frags left. 1 frag left.
Ooh, gotcha. Of course, I really like this weapon here, this cryo weapon or whatever. It shoots the purple. One of the best weapons in the game, in my opinion. I'm really good with it. Some of the other weapons are tough to aim. They may do more damage, but I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with some of these.
Can you have teams or in this game or not?
You talking about like for your character, or you talking about like the maps, like modded maps, or?
On this map, can we have teams?
I have no idea. I really haven't tried to modify anything in the game. I don't play the game that often. I probably play games in general 4 or 5 times a year. Like that's how often I game. I probably play Xonotic like twice a year. Yeah, play it for about an hour twice a year. It's been around for for a few years, though. I mean, I've played it a little bit. It's been around for probably, I don't know, 10 years or so. Alright, so if you're new to the game, that's the end of that. Now we vote for the next map. Obviously, if you're new to the game, you're not going to know any of the maps, but I can tell you as a noob, the tough ones are going to be the platforms, because you can fall off them. And as fast as the game is, it's easy to fall off the platforms. Also, there's different game types. What we've been doing is the deathmatch. Probably the most popular style of gameplay is the team capture the flag. I may try to get into one of those later once we get maybe some more people. Ooh, I got my favorite weapon. And I didn't kill anybody with it while I had it. Oh, but I killed somebody with a shotgun. And I got the purple weapon again.
Triple kill.
Triple kill. Wow. I'm on a roll today. Come on, guys. Where you at? Come get some. Well, that didn't last long. All right. Well, I keep getting my favorite weapon, but I can't kill anybody with it anymore. I was doing so good when we started. Can I add ray tracing? Somebody's asking in the chat. I have no idea what kind of settings, by the way. I put the graphics on. I don't know if it's on like a higher setting or a lower setting. Game looks good, though. Obviously, with me looking at it, I don't know what it looks like through YouTube's compression. But it looks very sharp here on my monitor. All right. Well, I play very dishonorably. I like sneaking up on people and shooting them in the back. Yeah. Well. Let's go. Let's go find the people that need to be taken out. Any of you guys playing on Windows? I'm coming for you. Just tell me VS Code's your favorite IDE, and I'm gonna try to own you. For Emacs lovers everywhere. By the way, those of you that haven't tried Emacs, one thing that Emacs is great at, and I should actually do a video displaying this, colored emojis look great in Emacs. Just saying. Apparently, for some people, that's a big deal.
What?
Yeah, I started something by saying something about VS Code. Some people in the chat. I'm sure it's a fine editor. It's not Vim or Emacs, though. I know it has like a Vim mode to it, but just use Vim like a normal person, right? VS Code's written in Electron, too. Well, I got the person fragged I wanted to frag, but they got me, too. Ooh, weapons. Oh, did I not get it? Somebody stole it from me. Alright. Let's go. Dang. Yeah, Mitchell says, colored emojis in Emacs? What a wondrous and hilarious time we're in. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, some people seriously ask the question, why would you want a colored emoji in a terminal? And me personally, I would not. But if I was going to play Devil's Advocate, there are some terminal-based applications where you might want to put an emoji in it every now and then, such as a email client like NeoMut or an IRC client like IRC. You know, sometimes you want to throw an emoji in IRC. So the good thing about Emacs is you've got email and IRC and everything in Emacs, and the shell and everything else, and emojis look great. So if emojis are your thing, just use Emacs. Wow, I got lucky there.
There?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's not on this for some reason.
Yeah, I can barely hear you. I don't know if it's...
I'm going to set my volume and I can see if that works.
Yeah. Well, I probably should check my settings and Pulse Audio. Make sure. It's possible that you guys are being heard just fine on the YouTube stream.
No.
Always a challenge when you stream something like this, because what I'm hearing, what you guys are hearing, obviously, it's not what the folks on YouTube are hearing. Tell you what, I'm gonna take a second, if I can, and I'm actually gonna check my settings and Pulse Audio before we get too far here. Everything looks good.
There.
Yep.
Fine, clear.
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good deal.
Yep.
I got
everything.
a new mic. This is why I wasn't sure.
It sounds good here. All right. And I will tell you guys, I often have problems with audio, the voice channel in Discord here in Linux. Half the time I try it, you guys will hear me fine, but it's listening to other people, sometimes you get this annoying static. It just will not go away.
Oh no, I haven't had this issue yet.
I haven't had it today, but I've had it a lot in the past, and it's really annoying when it happens. Like you can barely hear everybody else because of this static that's just in your headset and will not go away. Or it'll go away, but it'll go away after a few minutes, but through nothing you did. It just kind of goes away on its own. It's weird when it happens. Kind of a known issue here in Linux.
Myself every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. All right. I'm not sure who that was just speaking, but you are very low. I can barely hear you.
That must be in the game. Which are, oops.
Yeah, I don't know if you can adjust your volume any toke. But you're a little low. Yeah. Ooh, something was loud there. I don't know what that was. Somebody crying.
3 frags left.
Because you can spray your shots out better.
Yeah. Alright, somebody's trying to kill me. Come on, bring it. Where you at? Two frags left till the end of the deathmatch. We have enough people. Maybe we'll try to capture the flag. Well, I'm sorry, whoever was, if that was a question to me. Like I said, I can barely hear. I guess I could turn the game volume down where I can hear you guys. Maybe I've got the game volume too high. Let me adjust my settings here. I'm gonna turn the game way down. I'll turn it up a little bit for you guys on YouTube if I can. That might be a little low.
How about that?
Oh yeah, that sounds a lot better.
I cranked my output up, but I had to back it off. It was giving me a buzz.
Yeah. Sometimes you get that overmodulation if you.
You're still in the Xonotic 802?
Yeah, I haven't changed servers.
Yeah, I jumped off a couple of times trying to get this volume set up. Okay.
What was the server you were playing in?
It was Xonotic 0.8.2 server.
Well,
And
I see
it'll have
5.
13 players on it right now.
Oh well, that's a good amount of players. Looks like it's still team deathmatch. That may be the only thing we can play in this one. We may Have to
Yeah,
switch
it just
server.
updated my map.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot.
And this is going to be one of those platforms that you're just going to hate because, yeah. You can
How do you pull the menu up?
escape. Yeah, escape.
Oh, I meant in-game menu. Sorry.
Oh. Flip.
Is it a tab? I'm not sure.
Yeah, let me try that.
Yeah, if you want to see, yeah, like the score and everything, yeah, you just tab. Escape gets you into the settings and everything if you need to get into it.
No, I'm out of that now. But I'm just trying to see if I was in game. No, I'm not. Not yet.
I
You
do
are.
not like this map.
Oh, I shot you. Oh.
I'd rather jump into the lava than fall down to earth.
Yeah, this is this is tough. I hate these kinds of maps.
Kind of like the water maps, where you can jump underwater and float, come up behind somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool. This is like the Unreal Tournament, only just modernized.
Oh,
Space bar to join. I'm trying to.
Oopsie.
you know what? We're just gonna spawn camp. That's what we need to just start doing.
Oh, I've been doing it. Hell,
Oh. Of course.
There's DistroTube. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Oh. No.
It's been a long time since I've been visiting your channel a little bit.
oh,
And where you been, William?
I've been sort of making YouTube videos, but I had to just kind of give up on computers in general because I had a Dell XPS Studio I accidentally bricked.
Yeah.
It was a Windows 7 machine that obviously Windows 7 was getting ready to go to end of life with no longer security updates. So I was stuck on what to do. Now, me putting Linux on the Dell XPS was a bad idea because of the NVIDIA graphics card in it that came stock included.
Now putting Linux on it's never a bad idea.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really sure if it would work with the old NVIDIA card inside the computer because a family member gave it to me used and it worked, but it had an NVIDIA card in it.
No.
Yeah. What kind of card?
It was an NVIDIA 7 something series, like a 700 series or something like that, around that range.
Oh, well, they're not that old. I'm sure it would work fine.
It had a GPU and it had a fan on top of it. Also had HDMI and DVI as well
Going
as
off the
engagement
map.
on the card itself.
Yeah, just put Arch on that thing. You'll be all right.
Nice.
I only got one.
Oh. It had a Core i7 processor with 2 hard drives in it and 2 DVD drives in it.
Hmm.
And a media reader built into it. It was almost like a gaming rig.
Well, if it had a dedicated
And
graphics
two
card, yeah,
DVD
I'm
drives
sure
in
it
it.
was. Yeah. Hmm.
And a media reader built into it. It was almost like a gaming
rig.
to the motherboard, though.
Well, if it had a dedicated
And
graphics
two
card, yeah.
DVD
Hold on,
drives.
guys. Sorry, my fault. You guys that were listening to the live stream on YouTube, yeah, you had some weird audio feedback. That was me playing with the audio. Should be good though. Now.
You still make good content, though.
Thank you, William.
You know, I retired from using MeWe. I just didn't like it that well.
Well, tonight we're just making fluff content. This is what I call easy content. I just start streaming and whatever happens, happens.
I sent you a
Anybody?
Discord friend request, Mr. DistroTube.
Well, I might respond to that. I only log into Discord maybe 3 times a year when I play Xonotic, but I will check out your friend request.
Me, I've decided to retire Linux using it just because I've used it since like Ubuntu 904 and I've gotten quite used to it by now.
You can't retire from Linux.
choice.
Correction, I meant I would use it again in the future. I'd just rather see more distributions pop up again.
We don't have enough distributions, that's the problem?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get more Linux.
Yeah.
Such a thing.
Hey Derek, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
My only complaint is Seduction is the Linux distribution I tried before.
Yeah, I don't know about Seduction. I don't know if they've had a release in years.
Do you use
A
Fedora?
rolling release. They had a 2018 or 2019 release.
Yeah, I agree with whoever yelled out a second ago. Just use Fedora.
Oh.
You're gonna love it.
Gentoo.
I have dealt with Gentoo, yes. I've dealt with it.
Button for punishment.
Yeah,
Gentoo.
Gentoo is nice, but if you have to do very minimal install, I mean, yeah, you know that already, but yeah.
I've actually dealt with the Gentoo base install, but some software is out of sync in the portage area.
Well, you don't want to deal with a meme distro like a Gentoo. Just install a distro for normies, Arch. Or yeah, or Ubuntu. Ubuntu's not bad.
I would rather just use that because I don't trust the AUR very well in our...
You don't trust the AUR,
Not quite.
Oh, it's good for you.
but you installed Windows and you're gonna trust the Windows Store.
Oh no.
Bruh.
Think about that.
I kind of... Well, I mean, you did get me there comically wise, but again, most of my PC games are tied to Windows, is that they kind of end up being in.
Well, you got to get on the free and open source games like Xonotic.
True.
I see. What system requirements would require, like, a good graphics card?
You probably need something halfway decent. It doesn't have to be anything crazy expensive, but yeah, you probably need a dedicated GPU. Onboard graphics would probably struggle a little bit on.
I found a Dell Alienware machine that is very interesting, brand new on Dell's website.
Why is everybody picking on me in this game?
I'm not picking on you. You just happen to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Well, I'm just gonna spam machine gun fire and see what happens. I
I
killed
only
no
have
one.
2 kills.
I made a YouTube video on the Dell XPS computer, but the only thing was that it's already reaching its end of life with some parts of the RAM going faulty.
You know, Arch never ends of life. If you.
Oh yeah, that's the good thing.
Well, I got 8 kills. No, 11. Aha!
Oh, wow, I got 7 somehow. I don't remember any of them.
I was at the
Hello.
I see.
You know what also never happens with free and open source games? You
What
can't
is it?
you can't shut down the servers like Rocket League is going to do. You know, because it's open source, the community, it'll go forever as long as somebody's willing to play it and support it. And these people that complain about their games dying, these streaming services, you know, Steam and Stadia and things like that, you know, when their games are no longer supported. Now you got to get off that proprietary stuff. Stallman was right, guys. Stallman was right.
I see. I mean, even though there's people out there that fight for open source stuff, but the whine in Linux is something that I kind of cringed at.
Yeah, some people have to have their Fortnite or whatever it is the kids play these days.
Fortnite.
Most of my PC games have had DRM attached to them that wouldn't work otherwise.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with DRM on proprietary platforms. You have to deal with that. Your music streaming, your movie streaming. It's cancer.
I admit that I use GOG.com for most of my PC games that are DRM free anyway.
Dang. I am not very good at gaming. I don't know why I insist on doing this tonight. Well, I killed you with the shotgun, so somebody else killed you. I just finished you off.
I have a question. What's your opinion on social media like Mastodon or open source based ones?
Oh, I like Mastodon. I hang out there all the time. I've got a couple of thousand followers over on Mastodon. You should join us, William.
I'll take that then.
You'll find me at DistroTube as the username, of course, at mastodon.technology.
I'm just trying to find a social media that isn't like MeWe, sort of.
Now, I don't know anything about MeWe, but Mastodon's great.
MeWe was supposed to be a spin-off, unofficial replacement of Google Plus, where you could buy a premium version that gets rid of the ads, and some features are restricted behind a paywall.
Get rid of the ads? I don't know about a platform that serves ads. Yeah, get on Mastodon quickly.
That's
if
fine.
If you're having to deal with ads.
Yeah, MeWe was the one that you could buy a premium version to have an ad-free experience. You can't video call anybody on there unless you buy a premium add-on or subscription.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a free and open source solution there. But again, I don't know anything about MeWe.
I have, and other people have, and Switch to Linux also has said stuff about it and has had quite a few dislikes with it, sort of.
That was easy. That just stood there.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
You're running around in circles.
I figure if I shoot enough times, I'll hit something. Yeah, I see Big Pod is in the YouTube chat. He says he's coming our way.
Uh-oh.
Stinky.
All right.
Oh. I don't want to play. They're hurting me.
Well, I fragged somebody. I took your weapons, too. Thank you. I needed something. I have no idea where I'm at or how I got here. What part of the map am I on? Oh, it's like some little teleport thingy.
By the way,
Ooh.
Derek, MeWe was started by Mark Weinstein. If that
who
means
is-
anything to you.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. You'd have to help me out on that one. Well, I had a triple frag before you guys got me.
I don't know how that happened.
3 of y'all were standing beside each other.
There you are.
I'm pretty sure 2 of them were AFK.
I know who was AFK. sort of rearranged my my date.
Uh, ooh, frag somebody. I need to type something crazy in the chat after I frag people.
Oh, I think you just fragged me. Thanks. I'll remember that.
I keep getting so close to fragging you.
Ah, here we are. Oh, Jesus.
What do the kids say? You jelly, bro? Or is that old now?
We do not say that at all.
Oh, okay.
Oh, DistroTube seems like he's a boomer or a person that's grown a little bit too older.
I do like boomer music.
How's my
I
voice,
was-
guys?
Hey guys,
What's up, Big Pod?
downloading Xonotic right now, so gonna be 2 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be a minute. Yeah, the game's kind of big, yeah. You doing the snap?
Yeah.
I've always-
DistroTube,
Yeah.
consider me the infrequent visitor of your YouTube channel.
So noted.
I'm the person who will pop by every now and then, usually, but that's how it is.
So that didn't take long.
How's the weather up there?
Wow.
I got 6.
Yeah, I
Where'd you
don't
get
even
your
know.
dirt?
I wasn't. I
got
wasn't
one.
paying attention, but I had a few frags.
Yeah, I know. I was a couple of them, you bugger.
Yeah. I'm wondering who named themselves Alacrity.
Yeah, I seen
Nice.
that video.
I've
Yeah.
created an account on the site that you're talking about, DistroTube.
It's
I
4
did.
degrees in Denmark right now.
Yikes. Right now, they just have to review the application that I had typed into the box on what makes me want to join the site.
What makes you want to join the site?
Yes, I had to type in the box below.
Wow, that didn't take long.
Oh,
I prefer
have-
social media that doesn't have ads or where you have to pay money to get rid of the ads or something of that nature.
Yeah, Mastodon is free and open source. There shouldn't be. It's federated too, so if you're on some weird Mastodon that has ads or anything, you just get off of that one and go to a different server. But
Yeah,
I've never.
MeWe was the one that was ad riddled because oftentimes they promoted it either to pay premium. They gave people like a 7-day premium trial, and then things like that. But if you buy something from the MeWe store, then I guess you unlock video calling and other features, which is painful.
The MeWe store. Wow.
Yes, that's how the site got
I don't know.
innovated.
I don't know how all you Linux guys got onto something like that.
Well, Google Plus went under.
Yep, Google Plus.
That was a
Why
good
were you
thing.
on? Why were you on Google Plus?
Yeah. Why were you on
I
Google Plus?
don't know. I was on that before it went under a long time ago in
Google your
2011.
life, man.
Like if you tell me you
Well-
were on Facebook and Twitter, you know, I could understand. But Google Plus, it's like, what were you even
Well,
doing there?
Linus was on Google Plus, so you know.
Well,
maybe
they pay his
following
salary.
except
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I guess Google Plus is trying to compete against Facebook where you get a circles, but it didn't last long.
I'm gonna kill Alacrity, whoever he is.
I'm next to him. Oh, jeez.
I gotta get in the fight.
I'm downloading Xonotic myself right now.
Ah. Yeah, Big
Does
Pod.
anybody
It
have
may-
some good game sites for Linux games?
Do we have what?
Some good game sites where I can download
For-
games that I cannot get on the app package manager.
Well, if they're free and open source games, they should be in your package manager. Obviously, if they're proprietary games, then you probably have to stick with
Okay, I
No,
can see.
Steam.
for that
Lutris.
Steam is
It's a snap package, this game you're playing right now, that's why.
Well, it wasn't. It was probably in the repos. I just give everybody the snap because it's easier.
Yeah, it's not in the normal app. It's only a snap.
Xonotic is not in the apt package manager in Debian or Ubuntu. It should be. It's. I know it's been there in years past, unless they removed it or because there is the snap. I don't know.
What's so beautiful about Snap products?
Nothing.
It depends on really the use case. For
Snap
something
is
like this.
Snap is basically just the normie version of Flatpak.
Well, Snap and Flatpak actually both are normie versions of Docker. If you really wanted to, right?
Those are normal versions of Docker because they do the same thing just for the desktop.
They're trying to bring container technology like Docker to the desktop.
Microsoft Ubuntu.
Yeah, but Snap and Flatpak work completely different than Docker anyway. But the closest approximation would be as the normie version of Docker. I could have got into that how they work, but it would take too long.
Yeah, I don't think
I was wrong.
they wanted an explanation.
Xonotic is on the software package.
It should be in most everybody's package. Yeah, because it's been around for a long time. It's a popular game and it's open source, so there's no reason why it couldn't be in the package manager.
Didn't see what I got there, but it was about middle of the pack. Silent Siege.
Hello.
Hello? Somebody said hi. We've got a bunch of folks now in the Discord voice channel. I don't know if everybody's in the game or some folks are just hanging out.
I'm just here just visiting even though I don't have a computer just yet.
Well, I could tell that you joined us on a mobile device because of the sound of your voice. I could tell. Yeah, I figured you weren't playing Xonotic on your phone or tablet. What do you got? A iPad or something there, William?
A smartphone.
A smartphone.
An Android phone.
Oh.
Good. Screw Apple.
I just saw a post over on Reddit right before I joined the stream. I had to respond to it. Somebody over on R Linux asked, why do Linux users love Apple so much?
Because it's not Google mainly.
I responded, I was like, you're hanging out with the wrong kind of Linux users if they love Apple.
a lot of Linux people really do like Apple because it's not Google.
Well, I know at least a few years ago, because some of the Canonical guys, would state this, they use MacBooks at Canonical. Like, that's what they do a lot of their work on. I was like, really? A Linux company? You all using MacBooks? Are you serious?
Yeah, people actually really like MacBooks, and I don't understand why.
I've never bought one, so I mean, I can't speak for the quality as far as the hardware, but I don't know. I find it strange. But then, we had the director of the Linux Foundation giving a presentation one time with
who cares? To be told.
Yeah.
He uses a device. Device works for him. The end.
Well, if you're if you're on the Linux Foundation and you're using a Mac.
No, that's a bro moment.
Nobody is perfect.
Well, at least we admit it's a character flaw. So.
Speak for yourself. I am always perfect.
I just hear, trust me. Would I lie to you?
Didi, behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There are way too many people in this game now. There's too much going on, especially for a deathmatch. This is.
Oh, I killed you. Well,
Play on a bigger map, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like DistroTube is getting flooded by people.
Yeah.
How many bots did you assign for it?
this server here can hold 32 people.
Jesus.
So we're not close to being full yet, but I mean, there's getting close to 20 people in here, and it's already out of control. I can't imagine a 32-person deathmatch.
But if the map is not big, it can be pretty intense, I guess.
I can imagine the server like a cell tower with so many people flooding it that it causes problems.
This is crazy, yes. Wow.
They need
Wow.
bigger maps.
Yeah, this is...
True.
You spawn and you're dead.
True, Lloyd.
But I did frag somebody. Somebody in the chat was asking, is this game normally this active? No, it's not. Sometimes it's hard to find a game. Usually there's only 1 or 2 games where you'll actually find players in it at a time. Today, when we got here, there were 2 people online playing before I started streaming. So it really wasn't seeing much activity at all. But it's not hard to get people to play. If I post, especially to the Linux community, you know, on YouTube or on Mastodon or something, say, hey, y'all want to play Xonotic? It's not hard to find a few people that want to play.
Just walked off the so
Guess why?
I mean, I can usually talk Rocco, Big Daddy Linux, into playing a game every now and then.
Ow.
A lot of the Destination Linux crowd, they don't mind playing Xonotic every now and then. I've gotten Alan Pope in a game before.
Or you got 5.
On that note, I felt afraid of some Linux communities to begin with at most.
What do you else play, Derek?
I've almost never game, so like
What's the almost-
seriously. I
Derek is a Linux person more than anything he does with Linux.
I seriously maybe play a game 5 times a year. Like, this is the first time I've played anything since the last time I did a gaming live stream, which was about 3 months ago. I think we did Ballistic Overkill, me and Joe Panico and a few other folks.
And before that, you did stream with Xonotic. That was, you said that the time you played the game.
Every 3 months, you know, I get the urge to play for a little bit. And if I'm going to play, I usually just stream it. Because why not? It's easy enough just to hit start streaming.
What is your main distro?
Yo.
Well, right now I'm on Arco.
Okay.
I've been on Arco for a little while now, for like 9 or 10 months, so...
Come on, I'm last to kill someone.
Ooh,
Oh,
I
I
took
got
care of
9
that.
kills.
Someone get in front of my gun, so I can kill
Is
him.
Arco a rolling release distribution?
Yeah, it's basically Arch, so it's rolling
Oh,
I
release.
thought DistroTube has not used rolling release distro so often like he used to.
Well, I don't mind using a stable distro on a server. Or if I didn't do the YouTube channel, I probably would install something like Ubuntu LTS or Debian stable, and you know.
I would be using the testing or rolling branch of Debian to stay up to date to avoid being out of date.
When did you first start using Linux?
Who, me? I've used it on the server for 20 years, but on the desktop, I've been exclusively running Linux for my desktop since 2008.
It'd be very silly to use a rolling release on a server.
No,
People
it's
do
not
it.
that silly.
People do it.
I have a server running Arch. But it
You
is
see
a
it-
build server, so...
You see it more and more. Yeah, you're starting to see a lot more like web servers. Like I see hosting companies now offering me, hey, you want a Debian server, you want a CentOS server, or you want an Arch server? And you're like, what? An Arch server? But, you know, for some things, it makes sense.
Yeah. I use it because I build packages for Arch for myself, so
Yes,
I
I
need
mean,
Nice.
Arch.
But what
When
do
I-
you do if an update breaks something when on the server, bringing down the whole server?
you
I
have to
bring down
fix
the
it.
whole server reinstall
Fix it.
Yeah, that's the same thing you do on your desktop. When it breaks on your desktop, you got to fix it. On the server, you got to fix it too.
How difficult can it be?
You have the downgrade command.
Yeah. You could always downgrade the package that caused you the problem.
I just reinstalled.
I would actually just do that in some emergency cases if something critical goes horribly wrong or something non-critical.
Well, I'll give you an example of where a rolling release server would come in handy. So, one of my web servers that I run my Hugo website on is a Ubuntu 18.04 server, because I just stick with Ubuntu LTS servers most of the time. But Hugo is kind of a newer project, and some of the dependencies for it, I needed newer dependencies than what is in old, crusty Ubuntu 18.04. So an Arch server would have been great for something like that. Instead, I'm trying to add PPAs and doing other things to get things to work.
I use a stable release for main computer because of Compton. It's best for gaming, I think. In the Ubuntu Mate 1910, Compton is removed. So I had some problem with the game. There was a lot of tearing.
Yeah.
So I went back to 18.4. I guess I could install Compton on 1910, but I
What
just
I've
went back
noticed
to
about Linux users, one good thing is they don't have to deal with tech support scammers.
Yeah, good thing. But I normally see that for gaming, rolling release are better.
Oh yeah, for sure. You want the latest driver and you want the latest kernel. Yeah.
Definitely.
Now one thing where a stable distro works better, like on a web server, like Arch moves versions so fast. Like if you need a certain version of PHP, Arch moves to the next version so fast it'll break things. Where you really need to be on like Debian or CentOS, where if you got things working, it's always going to work. It's never going to upgrade to a new version of PHP.
I don't know why I have the best results with say 4, and but with some minor tweaks, it's good.
I normally say if you are dependent on a specific version of a package, update the program you're using.
Yeah.
Does someone sound that they are Danish or which?
I'm Danish.
Oh.
I'm Bulgarian.
Hey Derek, what's the name of the server?
Big Pod.
We are on Xonotic 0.8.2 server.
Just type DistroTube in the search and it will find you.
It's going to be the game that's got 1 million people in it. That's going to be.
Someone wanted to ask me a question. This I heard my name being said.
Big Pod, what country are you in based on your accent?
Slovenia.
Oh.
There he is.
He could be in a different. He could be in a different country based on his accent too, but yeah. Right.
I'm Slovenian.
Yeah.
True and true.
Could be like me, Heinz 57.
What?
Heinz 57.
Okay.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
What we were talking about with snaps earlier, what I really like with snaps is on the server, is we're just talking about, not upgrading the latest PHP and things like that, maybe configuring Apache. I do love snaps for Nextcloud and things like that. It just makes those so simple. You never have to worry about updates breaking.
That's why I use Docker most of the time. No problem with packages being out of date because
on
your system, because they're just packages for that.
I've never heard of Docker.
It's been around for
system. You might have heard of Kubernetes.
So it's old.
It's not old.
Well, it's been around for a few years. It's they're kind of the ones that really made this container technology popular.
I would have built myself. I would have just used a PowerPC based computer and find a distribution that supports PowerPC and use that.
Doesn't go that way.
Oh.
Because it uses the in-kernel, basically uses the kernel of your machine, but at the same time is separate from your
Atom
machine.
Forge there.
It's
Number
quite.
Then I wondered why Linux supported PowerPC based computers then.
You can have PowerPC. You can just build packages for it, but for example, if you want to have a Docker that is run on PowerPC, all the packages inside the Docker must be compiled for PowerPC. So you cannot use the packages for what's it called? x86 is the
okay.
PowerPC.
Even if I was a developer.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Same is with, I believe, with Snap. You can't run different snaps from different architecture and platform.
Yeah, you can't create a snap for ARM and then try to run it on x86.
Yeah,
I would have had to have a PowerPC based computer to try to develop things for it to make it run.
No, to just run on your system, to run on the server needs to be the same architecture as the Docker, as the container that is running.
Oh.
So PowerPC. So if you have a x86 container, it must be run on the x86 base server. And same with PowerPC, same with ARM. You cannot mix
I
and
would
match.
have to have all PowerPC servers and PowerPC computers to have them to auto-develop things.
And
right now,
you would have to compile every piece of software for PowerPC, which some aren't, and that's sometimes a problem.
Right now, some of the people watching this gaming stream are probably like normal, like Windows users, and wondering what the hell are these nerds talking about.
And we're talking about PowerPC.
Right.
Yeah.
The only time I've touched a PowerPC-based computer was the Apple Macs back in like early 2002.
I was never a fan of PowerPC anyway.
Well, obviously consoles like the Xbox 360 and PS3 are PowerPC based,
No.
so is Nintendo
No, they're not.
Wii.
The PlayStation is based on x86, just like everything else.
The older PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3, I believe, uses an AMD CPU.
Not exactly.
I believe, as far as I remember, PlayStation 3 uses, at least as far as I know, and I know that quite well because I remember people turning them into actual Linux-based computers.
A lot of people did. Yeah, you could
actually
you could get Linux on it.
U.S. Air Force, super.
But Sony took away the ability to turn a PS3 into a PC later on.
Later on, they basically patched the hole that allowed you to install different operating system.
Right, they just wanted to lock it down so you could.
Basically, they disallowed you option to reflash it or access the BIOS.
Well, this was done out of security concerns, of course.
Yeah, but is there someone? I think there's someone that find a way around it. Actually.
Sure, probably a way around it. We'll probably find it for everything. If we can find a way to go around Apple's 1,000 ways of stopping people to root or jailbreak the devices.
Well,
to use the
tell us what you really think about Apple.
Well, they produce crappy hardware that is severely overpriced and even more severely underpowered.
So you don't have that latest iPhone, I take it.
I don't have that latest iPhone. I don't have iPhone at all.
Well, that's good. It saved you about $1,100. So.
Oh, somebody is live streaming on
Apple is
Discord. Unless
special.
you have Discord Nitro or above, you can actually stream video on it.
Yeah.
It's like when you eat an apple, you dump it in the toilet afterwards.
now, guys.
Okay, that was a bit much.
There are people that watch the stream that are probably Mac users. Let's not anger them too much.
No.
It's pure editing stuff.
Just feel sorry, right?
Yeah, we're here to convert them, not to run them off.
Oh.
Wait a minute. People could use Apple Boot Camp to do Linux or Windows with.
Technically yes, practically nowadays no way in hell.
It depends on what works for you. So
It depends for Apple nowadays. It depends on what Apple you have. If you have one with T2
What
chip,
Apple?
forget running Linux on your Mac Pro, whatever the hell your device of Apple that is a computer you have, because the T2 chip blocks anything that is known as different than Windows or Mac. Why? Because there is no secure boot version for Mac in Linux kernel. I believe that's the reason. Something like that. Basically something with secure boot.
I bet someone's just gonna like figure out a way to solder wires to the board and bypass all that stuff.
No, because
Like a
without
microwave?
it cannot boot into Mac.
Oh, thanks, Distro.
Well, I
so
tried
then
to.
you cannot
I know.
boot to a boot camp, so you cannot boot at all because you don't have access to BIOS or you have Fire or something like that. Thanks to
It's
Apple.
programmed into the chips, I guess.
And storage itself is tied to the T2 chip. So once you remove the T2 chip, storage stops working. And if storage doesn't work, nothing works. But the new Mac Pros, at least there they allowed you to boot from external devices like PCIe storage or hard drives you attach yourself. At least that. So there you could run Linux, but still it's a bit of a question mark if it will boot.
But however, the boot camp, I remember Apple's boot camp utility allowed you to partition your drive.
Yes, and for that to work, you need to have your what is called the OS you have needs to be Mac secure booting. Needs to have inside the kernel. So, or as a part of a module. Windows has it, but Linux isn't support whatever. And I remember people actually getting into the live ISO but couldn't install it, or after installation it didn't boot.
Okay.
When I use Mac, it just feels fake for some reason.
But in a way, if you have a Mac, why the hell are you trying to run Linux? You already have a BSD-based distribution on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not.
Based
It's
on
not.
Darwin.
Yeah. But it's locked down. It's not. It's not open. Not really FreeBSD.
Still better than running something
Like
not
Windows 7.
Unix-based.
Right?
Yeah, Windows 7 definitely.
Yeah.
Windows 7 definitely.
Yeah.
Even though I gotta
And I
say,
think that's one of the better ones. I like that more than Windows 10.
No.
best Windows up to date.
3.1 was the best.
Best Windows up to date was probably Windows 8.1.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Trust me.
I'll have to take your word on that one.
I ran it for all the time it was available before Windows 10. I still gotta say I didn't like any operating system more than Windows 8.1.
Ah!
It had
Just as I hit the jump.
the start menu was one of the best improvements ever made. Made it to a screen. Way better than a menu, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yes, I need web tiles in my start menu.
I actually changed my Windows 10 start menu into a screen.
Yes.
Because it's way better.
So every time I try to launch something with D menu, I just wish I had web tiles. Right.
If you have to compare start menu of Windows to start screen of Windows, I gotta say start screen is way better.
I would rather have an operating system that runs in the cloud. It just gives you a web browser as an interface to use it with.
Actually, you can run Windows in the cloud and get full desktop experience on your system. Because that's what companies do for years already. They have servers in their
Which cloud is that?
Azure allows that, bro.
Azure, of course.
You can make it on your own servers, basically. Companies do that for years now. It's VDI.
I still want to know which cloud it is.
The one on the side of your house.
Oh, cool.
That one, yeah.
Okay, then.
It's somewhat bluish color.
It's like all these new folks coming to computers in general. Hey, does my new laptop, does it come with cloud? Does my phone come with cloud? It's like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Cloud?
Kind of like Chrome OS, except Chrome OS should have internet connection to browse the web, sort of.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, you can actually run the OS on server and use it on your desktop. Quite a lot of companies do it for security reasons.
Bah, humbug.
That's because they need to have compute on servers, so nobody can steal it.
Yeah,
Steal the stuff they work on.
Web browsers are bloat. All you need is curl.
On that note, I would rather just have it kind of like a thin client connected to a high performance gaming rig to have the gaming rig do all the heavy lifting.
I'm actually gaming on a server right now, playing on my laptop.
So you're streaming the game from the server?
Directly to my laptop or a gigabit and playing. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
That's why I'm this crap. Because basically I have, believe less than a couple of milliseconds of delay.
Yeah.
So you have patented the Google Stadia.
No. It's actually a very old technology.
They have it from you, I guess.
No.
Come on, Derek.
This technology is used for so much time.
Can't take them nowhere.
It's crazy.
Actually, I made a YouTube video on a Dell Optiplex FX170 thin client.
Yeah,
I know
thin clients are great.
It's me.
The thin client I had was a Dell machine with the Intel Atom processor, a 32-bit machine with a gig of RAM, 4 gigs of internal storage, Windows Embedded Standard 7 on it.
Oh,
yeah.
32-bit Arch won't run on it.
Yeah,
who cares? Who cares? Once you have
well, I would care.
Set up for the once you have it set up for the VDI, you don't need even 32-bit. Just you need to make sure the software for the actual VDI runs at 32-bit, and you can do a 64-bit machine connector, and you have 64-bit OS.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And I believe I used Fujitsu tin clients for a while.
That was too easy.
Well, I was off in the water there, and I'm.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Big Pot, what do you use to stream the game?
It's
what software?
I use I actually remember what I use. It's been a while since I set it up.
Okay.
I have it all automated, so I completely forget about these things.
Is it open source software?
I believe yes. I'm not really caring.
Oh, here's something everyone needs to know about: a site called distrotest.net.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How do you know?
What do you mean? How do I know?
That site that lets you remote.
How do you know?
everything that contains distros.
The same way you probably know about it.
The way I discovered it on Facebook or somewhere where you could test distributions live over the internet.
Well, you are right. I didn't learn about it on Facebook.
No.
There's a few of those sites out there, William. Distro Test. There's also Distro Chooser. There's 2 or 3 of them like that.
The distro test was my favorite because you can control a live running distribution over the internet through a remote control viewer.
Wow.
Yeah. You used to could run. You could test out Ubuntu by just going to the Ubuntu website. I don't know if they still do that. That was years ago.
One thing I got to tell you: don't ever try to run, connect to a VM or anything like that using what's it called, VNC, to do something like gaming or something like that, because that thing is
insecure.
Really not insecure. Problem is, it has a huge amount of lag.
Yeah,
VNC is
really
insecure because you're sending your password in clear text over the internet.
Yeah.
I don't VNC very often.
Anyone on the internet can sniff for your VNC password.
Yeah, if you're using over the internet, yeah.
Like if I need to get into a remote machine, I mean, I'm always getting in via SSH anyway, so.
Hey, SSH cannot be sniffed, unlike VNC connections can be sniffed.
Actually, you can make sure VNC is safe by using VPN for its proper use, to connect to a remote server to administer that server, for example.
I had a VNC connection to my own personal desktop, but someone was able to get the password over the internet and sniff right over the internet wildly.
Yeah, but if you use the my example of a VPN, you can't get sniffed because it is encrypting your connection in transit.
There is Windscribe VPN, which I use for. Well, there is a paid version and a free version, but I have 20 gigs of bandwidth on the free version.
I use what's it called? OpenVPN itself, and I make my own server. And I use that server. It's all running on my server, so I have a direct connection to it.
Wow. You guys are pretty wild. That's how you spend the weekend? Right.
No, that's how I spend my weekdays. My weekend is playing games,
right?
Going to competitions and losing
I'm
them.
retired now, so I got no excuse. I can do whatever I want whenever my wife lets me.
Well, I technically have to be at school, but
I hope you got permission to play this game.
She sound asleep, so yeah, permission was automatically given. Trust me, would I lie to you?
When she finds out about your internet friends, she's gonna be mad.
Oh, my son's got his friends. You guys are nothing. They're here at the house.
Let's just say I'm supposed to sometimes be at school, but I normally don't make it.
How old are you, Big Pot?
21, going on 22.
Whoa.
Oh my! I'm
actually
21
thought
too.
you were older.
No. Everyone thinks that. I don't know why.
Yeah. And everybody thinks that I'm younger. I'm 43.
21. 21 with 42 years experience.
No, I'm just 21. No,
Well, I am at least 5.
Wow, everybody here is 43 except Big Pud. Wow.
I'm 27.
I am 15.
I am 16.
My age is ugly.
I'm actually not 43 yet.
No.
Later this year.
Are you really?
Yeah.
For
Did
me,
you say that I'm not the only one who's 43?
Yeah, I think there were 3 of us. That was weird.
Okay.
Like 3.
I didn't hear that.
For me, it's what is it? 6 days, and I will be 21 with 1 year experience.
Wow, I just got like 5 kills in a row.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wow. I'll never do that again.
It's actually nice, this distro test site. I didn't know about it before now.
Yeah, DistroTest is
Oops,
gonna
sorry,
allow you to
Derek.
use a built-in VNC viewer on the website or your own VNC viewer on your computer installed.
So
But
it's
this is-
pretty damn slow and like.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not an
but
experience
if you're
whatsoever.
trying it out in a
Wonderful.
virtual environment, it's still slow. So
Well, of course it's going to be slow, but the
Yeah,
point is
yeah.
just to see.
Look, compared to a Microsoft product called Remote Desktop Protocol, I gotta say,
Micro hard.
it's slow. That thing is real time.
To be honest, those distro chooser websites, I don't know if they serve that much of a purpose, because if you can't
Right.
burn, if you can't
It's
burn
just
a
more-
live USB and check it out on a live USB, then you probably
Yeah,
don't
you're
need to
probably
install.
useless.
You don't need to install Linux if you can't do that.
no, but it's more for the touch and feel, more
you
like
can use virtual
performance.
machine.
Oh no.
Yeah, VMs
Wait,
even. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
VM would work better. It's probably a VM over there anyway, and it's probably a weaker VM than you would make. Probably a single or dual core on maybe a gig of RAM.
There's no way they're giving it 2 cores on those websites.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a single core for sure.
it's automatically generated for you. Single core, 1 gig of RAM, so it barely runs. And then uses the VNC, which is really slow protocol, even on local network.
I can say in a minute how slow I think it is. I've never tried it before, but I guess you know what you're talking about. So
Warfare, I guess.
Well, guys, this next round will be the last one for me. And then I will get out of here. Yeah, Warfare looks like the one everybody's going to vote for.
Yeah.
I'll probably go as well. Wanna play with my, what's it called? Azure instance.
Azure. All Microsoft all the time, Big Pod.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
There's nothing better than Azure.
well, what about
cloud.
PowerShell? Oh.
Well, PowerShell is great.
What
if you have,
about the Windows subsystem for Linux?
definitely
Very good.
useful.
Yeah.
Definitely useful, definitely great, especially the
Come on.
BSL2.
I just need to have Bash and Windows, and I'm
What
good.
about Windows Vista?
Flawed
You
operating
are
system
good,
worked
brother.
for its time. That was overachieving for its time.
Overachieving.
Yes.
It looked good though.
In
Uh,
what
the-
way
the-
was it?
The blue screen did.
The look was way too advanced for at that time machines, even the best ones.
That's what it was. You know what? We just weren't ready for it. It was.
The graphic details were way too advanced for that time machines, and
I wouldn't say advanced. I would say bloated.
no,
Well,
they,
the problem was XP. The lifespan of XP lasted so long. People don't realize if you weren't around back then when XP came out, it ran on 256 megs of RAM. That's the computer you bought when XP came out.
XP was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it was-
and then they dropped Aera on you, which is really graphically demanding. So everything was crap running.
And
Oh,
it wasn't necessarily Vista's fault that it needed all those system resources. The web started becoming heavier. Things like Firefox and Chrome, those.
It was
They
mainly
required-
the design, how they made the desktop appear, because they wanted a high fidelity looking desktop, and sadly the hardware wasn't ready for that.
Well, we're changing things. I see more and more people adopting the terminal and the command line. Like, it's starting to catch on.
But
It
it
is.
is
I'm
still
trying to shift to Fedora.
it is it is possible to make a very nice distro without hogging all the
It really is, without all the bloat.
performance. Yeah.
Yes, it is. The problem at the time was that all the hardware was made for the XP, so it wasn't that powerful, and nobody really thought that Microsoft would make a so demanding software so quickly. They thought they will make a step up from XP because backwards compatibility, because they didn't want to break users and all that, which they still try but fail. But yeah, and because of that, most of the time, most systems weren't ready for it. And then they made a amazing piece of software which everybody hates, Windows 8. Probably the best Windows ever.
The amazing Windows 8. Wow.
And it's even better and more advanced version.
And it was broke before it even come out.
Wow. We weren't ready for Vista, and we really weren't ready for 8.
Oh wow! I was glad to see 8.1 when it came out.
8 was great with the software. Think about how many people now use GNOME. It's basically GNOME with little changes.
I never used Windows 8. Can't really speak on. I never used Vista either. Now that I think
Basically,
about it.
just those live tiles are a bit
I only
different
used Vista.
than GNOME, but yeah.
I moved directly from Windows 7 to 10.
I mean, I have had machines at places I've worked that ran Windows 7. But really, I haven't used any. I haven't used Vista 8, 10.
I used every Windows since '95, I believe.
I need to have Windows. I use it on a laptop.
Which is funny since I was born '98. So.
Yeah, but Windows 95 was where it started going downhill.
Windows 95 was a great piece of software. Windows 98.
Well, that was it. That was the last good one. I mean, Windows 3.1 was the best.
It was somewhat great. I don't like it nowadays because it's deprecated. Windows 8.1 was great, and 10 is somewhat great if you go in and do 10 hours of modifications.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough talking about proprietary operating systems.
Basically, Windows is like Linux. Just you have to put time in it to make it actually work.
Don't compare those two.
The best Ubuntu was 904 Jaunty Jackalope. Okay.
I'm out, guys.
Yeah, I'm out too, guys. We'll see you.
Do you eat onions?
I love them. All right. Let me get out of here.
Game, Derek.
Yeah,
and the podcast there.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. This was fun.
Yeah,
it was a blast.
No problem.
One thing I wanted to say, but everyone was talking. How did Apple have a composited desktop in 2000, but Vista struggled in 2000?
That is because the hardware was specifically picked out for the system, whereas everybody for Windows basically had to choose hardware before they even tested out Vista. And
I mean, you think Apple's locked down now? Back in the 80s and 90s, I mean, you wanted to run Mac, you had to go buy Mac. I mean, you bought a Macintosh computer. I mean, there was that's why it worked, is because everything was just this one device. You couldn't put that operating system on another piece of hardware.
Now, if you want to buy a Mac, it's $17,000. That's a damn house. That's a down payment.
Nowadays, if you want to buy a good Mac, you pay something like $10K plus. So
$17,000, $16,999.
And then you still got to install Arch on it, though.
Welcome to my home.
Yes, of course.
At least their new Mac Pros come in regular.
No, Pinebooks. Pine operating system.
They should make a Mac house.
I don't like Pinebooks because they're ARM devices, and most of the world runs x86. 64.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna shut down Discord. Thanks for hanging out. And
All right, fam, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, we'll try to
talk to you later.
We'll try to do it again.
Thanks for the game.
Hello.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
And let's quit out of Discord. Shut down Xonotic there. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me on the YouTube chat as well. Obviously, I couldn't interact with you guys in the chat while playing the game. I do apologize about that. It's just the nature of gaming, though, right? You get wrapped up in the shooter. We'll spend a couple of minutes. For those of you still hanging out in the YouTube chat, if you got anything you want to say it now, so it will forever be recorded on YouTube. Let's see. XP is great for retro gaming. Oh, is it? Oh. I wonder if React OS would work for that sort of thing, though. I haven't used React OS in a long time, though. Let's see. Yeah, I got you beat, DT. I haven't used Windows personally. Oregon Trail in kindergarten on an Apple with orange color. Yeah, I remember the old amber monochrome monitors. Those were the best computers. I remember, yeah, the Oregon Trail, the original one, too. Yeah, that's why you do Discord if you want to interact with anybody. Really, yeah. I have a Discord channel. I've had it since I started the YouTube channel. I don't hang out there. Don't expect me to be in Discord if you hang out there, guys. It's, you know, I don't like the platforms, proprietary software. But yeah, for doing in-game chat, you know, for these live streams, yes, it makes sense to have Discord. There's free and open source solutions out there that might work. I mean, I could probably do something with Mumble, but Mumble is kind of complicated, especially if I want just people from the community to join. Most of you guys probably already use Discord anyway, so that's why I have Discord. So, what time is it? It's about 7:30 here. I guess I could check out the last of the game if it's still going on. I'm sure they're probably in the fourth quarter now. I haven't even checked the score for the game. I really didn't care about the Super Bowl, which is why we did the stream this evening. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Of course, before I go, I want to thank these folks here. These names you're seeing on the screen, my patrons here. All right, guys. Take care.